Right. Hello everybody and welcome to the F1 League Tier 2 Season 1 Round 2 at Canada. And yep, hopefully the stream will be working and hopefully we'll be able to get through this session. I am currently in a party with two other people. If they... well, they're going to put me off a lot, I can tell already. But yeah, we are live. I will be showing the link in a minute. I mean, none of you will be watching at the moment because it is not gone on Twitter.
Okay, the circuit is clear at the moment. We're good to go.
Right. So, let's watch. We're going to be watching through the monitor, because that's got more info. And straight away, Cyril Rosberg goes straight on into the wall on my screen. Okay, we're not watching him anymore. We are not watching him anymore. Okay. We're not watching Carmundo either, we can't see a thing with him. I'm just checking the stream now to see that it's working. Is it? Yeah, that's good. It's working good. Right. So we can't go on board with either of the Red Bulls because they're lagging all over the place. So we'll go on board with F1 Maestro 26 at the moment. And here we go. Him about to start his lap. He is in Tier 1. But, I'm sorry. People are so annoying me in the chat. In the party. But yeah, Maestro is in Tier 1, but he's also in this Tier 2. And he's... What? Cyril Rosberg just stops out on track. And Maestro's gone straight into the back of him and lost his front wing. That's not even lag as well. That actually happened because Rosberg left the session as AI was going around. I'm sorry for laughing at you, Maestro, but that was pretty hilarious, to be honest. So now, go on board with Tyrrell Minty. He's going through these last few corners now. What lap time will he be able to do? It is a 1 minute... 1 minute 0.3. That's not a fantastic lap. From practice, it seems like a low 12 is the kind of lap that we're looking for. Cyril Rosberg is back in the session. Carmundo comes in. He's abandoned his lap. And I think that this is about to be Zinka 97 starting his lap now. He's going through these first few corners now. And he's got a massive snap of oversteer on the exit there. And that's a bit of a cut there, to be honest. He's had no practice apparently going into this race, and a lot of the other members of the league has had a lot. So he's at a real disadvantage here, and he is really struggling now with traction through these corners. I don't think this is going to be a particularly great lap. You can tell that this is his first lap, really. But he had a strong result last week. I think with all the penalties removed, I think he ended up 4th, but that is still a pretty good result. His first league race on F1 2015. We'll go away from him to see anybody else out on track. We've got Carmundo coming out, Mincy coming in. Also Lexbox 1, who was dominating last week's race before a mess up on strategy. Zinka has abandoned his lap and come in. So we'll go on board with someone on a lap, which is no one. They're all on their out laps at the moment. So we'll go on board with Xbox One. Let's see. Minty is actually the only person to have set a time so far in this session. With a 21.3 first sector, 23.7 second sector, and a 28.188. Camando did actually have a purple first sector before he had to go. But here comes Xbox One starting his lap. Let's see what he can do. He's had quite a lot of changes, and oh my goodness me, he's just stopping out of track straight away on his lap. I don't know what's happened there. But yeah, basically, Xbox One was playing on the wheel, I think, and he said that he was having problems or something with that, so he had to go to the pad. But now he's back on the wheel, and he had a really strong showing last week. He's also still in Tier 1 as well, and he got his first points last week with a strong 7th place finish. And just checking the stream, I think there is quite a bit of lag, which is what I expect. No, actually, no, it's fine. Yeah, the stream's fine, actually, which is good. But Xbox One is... I don't know what's gone on, but this is a really slow lap so far. So we'll go on board with Calmundo. 21.5 first sector, which is 0.2 off. So let's see what he can do. Coming into the hairpin now. He's got to get a good exit out of here. Crucial to the lap, building up the speed onto this straight now. Here he comes now, 23.3 middle sector, which is a very quick in comparison to Minty. Now coming into the... Oh, no! I don't know what's gone on there. Massive load of lag on my screen through that final corner. But what is he going to do? It's going to be a 1 minute 13.5, putting him behind Minty by 0.2. Arte has set a lap, but it's horrifically... And now we're back on board with Maestro on another lap. I think Arte must have pulled out that lap because it's about 10 seconds off the pace. So here comes Maestro coming through now. Straight. 21.1 first sector, which I think is the fastest we've seen. I've just gone off him going into the final course, sorry about that. Now coming down the straight, what is this going to be? I think it's going to be... Oh, so close to Minty. 13.3. It's 4 thousandths off Minty. Crazy stuff. Very, very close there. Gestern Zinker is coming back out again for another attempt. And we also have Arte coming in. Here is Minty trying to improve on his lap to extend that gap at the top. At the moment it's only 4 thousandths of a second, which really isn't very much whatsoever. He's coming through the final corner now. Doesn't look like it's going to be much quicker if it is. Oh no, it is actually. I think he's pulled it out the bag in the final sector a bit there. Yes, I think he has, yeah. That final sector was very strong. 28.1. And yeah, he's now 0.3 clear at the top, which is very good. Obviously, Cyril Rosberg disconnected, so he'll be starting from the back. He started from the back last week and almost won the race. He was very slightly behind Schilling after a penalty was applied to him for corner cutting. And I would imagine that this will be, yes, that is Maestro coming in. And here is Calmundo on another lap, but he does have someone in front of him. It's a Force India, so I think that must be Xbox One. Yeah, because Grumpy Line isn't actually in the session. And 21.2 first session. First sector. So what is that second sector like? That's not a particularly strong second sector. He's going to have to really pull it out the bag if he's going to go into second, I think, here in this final sector. And that looks, well, it's clean, but I'm not sure if it's particularly fast through there. The lap time has paused on me. No, very close in the 13.3s, but about half a tenth off Maestro. Here comes Gestern Zinker. Yes, he is struggling quite a bit. You can tell. that there's been a lot of practicing going on in this league, and that's why Gestrin Zinker has been kind of missing out here a little bit. He's not doing fantastically. But, I mean, if he's getting used to it now in qualifying, could still mean a strong race. He had a good race last week, as I was saying earlier. And we got Arte here on a very, very slow outlap. Lexbox 1 on board with him. Doesn't look to seem to have the pace that he had in Spain. That first sector is quite a long way off the pace. But let's see what he can do in the second sector. 23.6, that is a few tenths off the pace. Camendo with the fastest second sector so far. I think Lexbox 1 will probably be aiming for a podium this week. Obviously, I think he ended up third last week after all of the penalties really confused things, but he was definitely the fastest up until then over the entire race, but just messed up on strategy. Where did he go with that? 14.3. That is not particularly great, but it's all right. So he is fourth, and I mean that should put him ahead of Zinker. And if Arce doesn't get in a proper lap, that should put him in front of a few people, mean that he will be starting in an okay position. But if he really wants a good result, he's going to have to improve from there. Here is Project 994 on his lap. Previously overshot the apex in Tier 1. But he's now moved down to Tier 2 after scoring no points over the first 4 races of the season. Actually only turned up to 1, but yeah, he was falling a long way behind, so he decided to go down to Tier 2. Let's see what his lap's like. I don't believe there is anyone else on a lap. Maestro is on a lap. So we'll watch Maestro, actually, because he is challenging for pole. So, sorry for you Project 994 fans out there, but I'm sure there aren't many. I'm not saying that in a nasty way, I'm just saying that there probably aren't that many fans of him because it's the F1 League Tier 2 and very few people actually watch it. Here comes Maestro, 21.1 first sector. Is that purple? It is, by 2 thousandths on himself. And a 23.1, which is... that's fantastic. Compared to everyone else, he is massively up at the moment. He's a good 2 tenths up on the rest of the field. Can he put it together in the third sector? Can he wrap it up? Braking into the final corners. He's taken that reasonably cleanly. It's always quite hard to tell whether it's the best possible way of taking it. A 12.6. Pole by 3 tenths and some, almost 4 tenths. Very, very good effort from him. He'll be very, very happy with that if he can keep it. Minty is coming in now. Minutes left. Will people be able to get another lap in? That's the question. Arte is going around with no front wing. He has had a pretty interesting session so far. And yeah, Arte has had a bit of a problem. Not a good session for him so far. Project 994. Kind of reasonable first sector. Not going to be challenging for the higher places. And we got someone commenting on the screen saying, "What league is this?" It's the F1 League. That's the name of it, if you were wondering. And here comes Project 994 through the final few corners. It's not going to be a fantastic lap, but can he go ahead of Lexbox 1, I think is what he's going to be aiming for. And he does not. He was 4 tenths off there. So it looks like we're going to be having 9 people for this week's race. There are a few more people, but I don't think they are able to join. Just quickly. who didn't join before qualifying. So, Arte now has a puncture. I don't know what is going on with this session. Oh no, that's Gorsh Crab, sorry. Not Arte. I forgot there were 2 Salvers in this session. But yeah, Gorsh Crab has obviously had some more problems. After an okay first sector. He's probably not going to be up there challenging at the front, but Gorsh would be aiming to get a few places on people. Let's see what Calmundo can do. Coming up to the end of the second sector, that's a pretty good second sector. I think he could go second here. I think Maestro is out of the question. I think he's about 3/10 off so far. And we got Project 994 retiring there from the session, so he'll be starting quite low down. Let's see what Calmundo can do. Where will he be going? I think this will be second. And it is! I predicted correctly. By just over a 10th. But Project 994 actually has improved. I missed that. He's actually improved to 4th. So he won't be starting that low down actually. He'll be in an okay position for the race. So everyone has set a lap who's supposed to. Obviously that's me in 9th. I'm not going to be setting a lap. Cyril Rosberg disconnected. It's just Gorsh Crabble waiting for the set a lap. And with his puncture there's no chance of that happening. So he'll be starting at the back. And here comes Minty now, going into the hairpin. And I think that this is probably going to struggle to put him back ahead of Calmundo. I think this is going to keep him 3rd. Let's see what happens here through this final corner. Can he get back that 2nd place? And remember, if you're new to watching this, which I think most people who are, it's 3 points for pole position, 2 points for 2nd on the grid, and 1 point for 3rd on the grid. Minty does go 2nd though, so that moves him into the 2-point range. Calmundo is now 3rd, around 10th behind. And it does look like Maestro is going to be taking pole here. Calmundo's going out onto track now, but yeah, no, he's retired. Minty is gone. It's only Lexbox 1, I think. Gorsh Crab is on his outlap. He won't have time. And Lexbox 1 has also retired. So yeah, we're just waiting for Gorsh Crab, who won't be able to make it round in time. So it's time for me to retire from the session now. And yeah, that is going to be F1 Maestro on pole. A very good turnaround from last week. He had a default setup last week and couldn't make qualifying, so struggled a bit on pace, but he got a good result out of it. Pretty solid 5th place, I think it was. 5th or 6th. And he's going to be looking for the win today. And there goes Gorsh Crab. And that is the final qualifying results. So there we have it. I'll be starting 9th, but obviously I will be retiring. I'm not actually racing in this. I am the league admin, if you didn't know. And I'm just going to be pulling over at the start and then letting everyone else through. And I think there will be quite a few people starting behind me, actually. People who have joined during qualifying. Yeah, Kian Hunter 2003 has joined. And... well, actually, that's it. I don't know what don't know what's happened with the rest of them, but there was a few other people that should have who I thought had joined during qualifying, but never mind. So yeah, I've got to safely pull over at the start of this race. And oh my goodness me, Minty is gone. Minty is disconnected going into the race. Well, I assume it's a disconnection, but he's gone into the race, so that's going to be another non-point score. He got disqualified at the final turn last week. And this week he's been disconnected just before the race was about to start. Cruel luck on him. And it's another pointless race for him. And there we have the grid. Cyril Rosberg in 8th after not setting a time. So there is chance for him to still get a decent result out of this. And obviously Minty will not be starting in that 2nd place, leaving Maestro clear at the front. So it's Calmundo who's now moved up to 2nd. So just bear with me. I have to concentrate for this bit just to make sure I pull over safely and don't ruin people's laps, races. We're just waiting here for the start of this race. Obviously it's going to be a one-stop. The tyres are very good round here. The options seem to last forever. So I'm just going to pull over to the side here. We've got 9 people racing. There we go. I'm off to the side. And I will now retire. And hopefully the spectator cams work for me. So going to turn 1, Zinker has managed to get it up into 4th. That is a good start for him. It is F1 Maestro leading away from Calmundo from Xbox One. Zinker in 4th, but he is now going to have... well, no, he didn't actually. He had a slide, but still is able to keep 4th place. Rosberg is up into 5th place. That is good for him. And let's go on board with Xbox One at the back of the leading trio at the moment. F1 Maestro in 1st, and then we have Calmundo in 2nd. Xbox One, he's actually a little bit off, but I think the focus is really going to be on what Calmundo can do on this first straight. There's no DRS for this lap, but can he be close to him at the end of the straight? Can Maestro be under pressure here? Calmundo doesn't seem to have got a brilliant exit, but he's going to be clear of Lexox 1. We've got Cyril Rosberg in the background there having a bit of a moment in 5th place, closing down on Zinker. These front 5 pulling away massively from the rest of the group. And Calmundo is in 2nd place still as we go through to the end of the first lap. And we have there a Sauber in 6th. I'm not sure who that would be. And Maestro is keeping the lead now into turn 1 and turn 2. I don't think there's going to be much movement there. Let's check what's going down at the rest of the field. So we're now going to go on board with Project 994, who has had a collision and is coming into the pits now. He was on the primes by the looks of it, going on to the options. Him and Kian Hunter 2003 seem to have had a bit of a collision. That is why they are low down. We have Gorsh Crab there in 7th place, and it will be Arte 94 in 6th. And these top, but something going on. Again, is right behind Zinker. And what can he do? He's looking to go around the outside. Sorry about the cameras being so laggy. It's just a thing of the game, and obviously when I'm trying to stream, it's not great either. Rosberg looking to go down the inside, but doesn't, and now he does. Zinker seems to have run wide a little bit there, but Rosberg has a bit of a moment. They're going to be going side by side now down the straight, or actually they won't be. Rosberg seems to have pulled away. So Rosberg now up into 4th on a charge to try and win this race. Xbox One falling away in 3rd. It does seem to be that the positions at the moment are relatively in order of what pace they are. Probably Rosberg, the only one out of position at the moment. I think he's at least up with Maestro and Calmundo on pace. Possibly quicker than them. We have a yellow out there. I don't know what that is for. Probably nothing, no, in this game. Although we do seem to have Xbox One going a bit slowly in the background. Or he just seems to have just maybe not had the best of exits there. Did look to be going quite slow in the background. Let's see what Cyril Rosberg can do. He is gaining on Xbox One, but not quite as much as he would have hoped. He would have really hoped to be up into 3rd. If he's really going for this win, he would really... Oh, and actually we have a change for the lead. Completely missed that. Don't know why I went to Rosberg, because I've just missed that completely. Calmundo the lead, and now Maestro slipstreaming him, trying to get back into the lead. Let's try and go on board, but Maestro decides not to go down the inside, and will now just follow Calmundo through. Just follow him through this final bit of the lap. Going on to lap 4 now, and Calmundo has set the fastest lap in the process of getting the lead. Maestro right up behind him, but at the moment it does look like Calmundo has got the slightly better pace than Maestro. And he's going to be really hoping that he can turn things around, Maestro is, and get that lead back. But they are pulling away at the moment from the rest of the field. I believe we still have... No, we have Rosberg now in 3rd. Him and Xbox One going side by side. Xbox One has the inside now. I think he might regain this position here. It's going to be side by side into the quick chicane. And yes, Xbox One does have that place back. So all the hard work for Rosberg to get into that 3rd place is going to have to put in again. so he can get it back. He did close in very close, and I think now he's gone through. That is the worst camera angle I've ever seen. I don't know why it goes on that. And now he's slipstreaming Xbox One down the straight. He has the inside line, but it's not always the best, the inside line, going into this corner. And he is through. Oh, and Rosberg's had another moment. So he got through, but he seems to have clipped the wall slightly. Will Xbox One be able to get back through? No, he won't. Rosberg is up into third now, and he should have the pace to pull away. It's just whether he can close in with the two leaders. Can he do that and get an unlikely race win from 8th on the grid? I'm saying no, but he has got a good chance now. He's just quite a long way behind. That's probably the only thing holding him back. Let's go back on board with Maestro, who is still sticking with Calmundo. These two very, very similar on pace. Maestro doesn't take the best of lines through there. I think that Calmundo is going to have enough of a gap down this straight to be comfortably ahead still. Maestro gets an okay exit, but yeah, again, he's going to be too far back, I think. Calmundo does seem to be covering this off rather well at the moment, but it can all change at the pit stop phase. It's going to be interesting, this one. Will people go with this, what they would normally pit at, around a lap 7, lap 8? Or will they go longer on these options, because they can last for a reasonably long time at an okay pace still? It's whether they think the primes are quicker than scrubbed options. That's the big question. Will people stay out long thinking it's quicker on the options? And F1 Maestro is still very close, but I don't think anything's going to be happening soon. So let's just check through the field. We've got Kian Hunter in 9th place, battling with Project 994. Cyril Rosberg has gone. Cyril Rosberg has disconnected from 3rd place. And that is our second casualty of the night for a front runner. Kian Hunter going around the outside of Project 994 here for 8th place, which will soon become 7th with the departure of Rosberg. And that is a real shame for Rosberg. He would have been hoping to make up points after last week's disappointment of losing the win through that penalty. I mean, luckily for him, Schilling just hasn't turned up today, who was leading the championship. And, but yeah, he will be very disappointed still with that. Gorsh Crab running in 6th place. A long way clear of 7th and 8th, but a long way off 5th. Arte looking like he's going to be able to take 5th or 4th now. Gestrin Zinka has been caught up by him. It looked in the early stages that Zinka was keeping up the pace, but he is struggling a bit now. Arte catching up with him. Arte looking a lot quicker than they did in quali. And this is... I think we've lost someone else. Zinka's up to 3rd now, or has someone pitted? Lexbox 1 is up to 2nd, so yes, we have had our first pitter. Calmundo has pitted. He's now on the prime, so he is gone for the undercut, a really large undercut. He pitted at the end of lap 6. So let's see if this works. I would have thought that people on the options would be quicker at this stage, but Maestro will have to get it right if he's going to be overcutting Calmundo. Let's see what he does. Does he come in this lap, or does he stick with his own strategy? See, I wouldn't have thought that people would have planned to pit this. We're going around that lap 9, lap 10. And Maestro does continue on. He believes that these options are quicker. And I would probably agree with him. Lexbox 1 there also. Not quite on the pace that he had in Spain, but he's still on at the moment for a solid 3rd place at least. Possibly. And oh, we've got a massive moment for Arte. Arte has lost it at the final corner. That must be a broken front wing. And it is. And what was looking like a good race for him is now going to be a struggle. He's got to do an entire lap without a front wing. And I would imagine that that will probably put him down. Probably with Project 994 and Kian Hunter 2003. Probably around about that area. He's going to have to try and get to the pits as quickly as possible if he's going to have a chance of beating anyone in this race now. A real shame for him. He has struggled so far a little bit in this league. He is a very good racer though. And it would have been a pretty solid result for him today. Kamandu in fourth, looking like he has the pace on Zinka. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have like timings or anything, so we can't tell what he's doing with Maestro and Lexvox 1, how he's gaining on them, but he does definitely seem to be appearing to be catching Zinka and Lexvox 1 in the shot as well there, so he's probably gaining on him quite a bit as well. Remember, he was slightly quicker than Maestro, very, very slightly. I think if Maestro didn't have DRS, it would have been closer. But we see Gestra and Zinka pulling into the pits there. So Kamando will retake third and second as Lexvox 1 is also coming in. And Maestro has come in as well, I think. It's going to be close on pit exit though, I think. Can't even see what's going on now. Yeah, Maestro has pitted and he's come out in front. 2 extra laps. He's managed to get the position. So yeah, Kamandu did briefly get the lead back, but the nature of the pit exit meant that Maestro now re-has the lead. So he's worked the strategy well, and now also has fresher tyres. Kamandu's really going to have to work for this race win now. But he does still have a chance. The gap isn't that big. It's looking, to me, visually about 1.5 seconds, I would have said. But don't trust me. So Arte is down in 8th. Where does this put him? It does put him behind Kian Hunter and Project 994. But let's remember, Project 994 and Kian Hunter had their problems at the start of the race. So I don't know why, but I thought he put on options. I'm sure he did at the stop, Project 994. So he couldn't have pitted again, because he wouldn't be in that position. He wouldn't be ahead of Arte. But I think what has happened is that it showed the wrong tyres, and he's actually probably going to try and go to the end. I know it's 17 laps, it seems like a lot, but it is probably just possible. So Arte will probably be trying to close back down on them, seeing if he can regain a few positions on those fresher tyres. But here we have it, F1 Maestro. He has 1 podium in Tier 1, a 3rd in Mexico last season, and a 5th in Australia as few best results. This would obviously be his first win. It's not a Tier 1 win, but a Tier 2 win would be good for him. He'd still be very proud of that, I'm sure. And he does seem to have it under control. I mean, as I said, I think Kamandu was slightly quicker before, but he has that very slightly fresher tyres now, does Maestro. I think that might be just enough for him to be able to keep this gap. So 9 laps to go, or 8 and a bit actually, as we're coming to the end of lap 10. And it's been quite a tense race so far. We've seen 1 change for the lead out on track, but it is going to be a pretty tense. Yeah. See how Lexvox 1 is getting on. He should have a really comfortable 3rd now. As I was saying, Rosberg disconnecting allowed Lexvox 1 to have a big gap behind, big gap in front. Zinka has upped his pace slightly. He was pretty good at the start, and then it seemed like he was losing a bit of pace actually, but he seems to have got the hang of it now. Obviously getting used to the track still after doing no practice. A 4th place, although a little bit ill-gotten, with 2 people having problems connection-wise. It would still be a good result considering the amount of practice, and a strong drive ahead of the others in the lobby. Arte is still in 8th place. Project 994 is in 7th. And Kian Hunter on debut is in 6th, but he's actually managed to catch up with Gorsh Crab here, which is pretty impressive. Forgot that Gorsh Crab was actually in this race. He's been so much in no man's land, but now suddenly he is in a bit of a battle. So Gorsh Crab must have pitted and come out ahead, but somehow it seems like Kian Hunter, even on older tyres, he's actually managed to close back up. 10 lap old tyres now since that lap 1 collision that he had. And yeah, that is a pretty strong drive on debut that he's having at the moment. Bit of a shame about the start, but he is now going to be able to challenge Gorsh Crab here for position. I would have thought that Gorsh Crab would be able to pull away near the end of the race. But they're really going side by side down the straight here. Oh, that was close going into turn 1 there. Gorsh Crab just keeps it. but Kian Hunter is right behind him now. We're going to stay on board with this battle. I don't think anything's happening at the front. Obviously, I don't want to miss anything at the front, but I think there's probably more action going on here. So Kian Hunter still challenging Gorsh Crab here. Pretty valiant effort so far from Kian Hunter. And Gorsh Crab goes a little bit wide. Kian Hunter now goes side by side going into the hairpin. He's got slightly ahead, but Gorsh Crab has that inside line. Kian Hunter's probably going to try and do the switch back, but Gorsh Crab just manages to keep a tight enough line to keep the position. They're now going to be going side by side, probably down the straight once Kian Hunter activates DRS. But actually, possibly Kian Hunter has more wing on that car because he was not able to pull alongside as much as I thought. But on exit, there's a bit of a collision. Oh, that was not good for Kian Hunter. He's lost a lot of time there. Will Project 994 go through? I think no, he doesn't. So yeah, what happened there? Kian Hunter had a much better exit than Gorsh Crab. Gorsh Crab having a little bit of loss of traction. Going into Kian Hunter, thankfully no damage, it doesn't look like. I think the car looks okay. Let's go on board. Yes, it does look okay, at least visually. So he does still have a chance of getting this 5th place after staying ahead of Project 994, but we do have Arte closing in, who we know from earlier had better pace than Gorsh Crab, and we know has fresher tyres than these other two, who are now on their 12th lap on these tyres. Unless they pitted again, but they couldn't have, because unless their pace was really quick, they wouldn't be in this position. And judging from quali, they probably wouldn't be that quick. But we do have Project 994. Arte has been disqualified. Oh dear. That has really ruined his race. Must have been probably cutting that chicane there before there. That was probably that final disqualification worthy penalty in the eyes of the game. But now we do have Project 994 trying to go through. There's contact. Oh, there's contact at the final chicane. Oh, that's very unfortunate. I'm not sure whose fault that was. To be honest, I don't think Project 994 was really going to get through on the inside there. The outside line is probably, that's your normal racing line. That's a tough one to call there. But Kian Hunter has lost time through that on Gorsh Crab, and Project 994 has now dropped back to 7th. He's managed to get it round into the pits somehow. And he's put on the options. He's going to be on a charge to finish. Still on for 7th, actually, with all the carnage that's gone on in this race. But he's actually going to be able to take 6 points, which isn't too bad. Gessenzinger's still going on in 4th. He's got a pretty big gap to Lexbox on in front. Let's see what's going on in front. We haven't checked the battle for the lead for a while. Project 994 is now a lap down. He should be able to unlap himself from Calendar, who is now falling away from Maestro. Maestro, on those slightly fresher tyres, is just slightly extending the gap. It is still pretty close, but with 4 laps to go, Camando's going to really have to pull it out the bag now. And he's going to lose time here as well, with Project 994 trying to unlap himself. This could be kind of an awkward position to be doing it, but Camando does keep it going. Fair play from Project 994. I think he knows that he's not going to be able to catch up with the rest of the field. So I think he's just being sensible behind Camando, not trying to ruin his race. So that is appreciated from him. But that was massive, a load of lag there. Let's see. I have had this situation before where someone was a lot quicker trying to unlap themselves. I just let them through, because even if they're not doing anything, like Project 994 is not interfering with Camando, it's still annoying having a car behind you. And I think Moser has actually slightly pulled away on this lap. Camando probably thinking about that very such thing. Not really much battling going out on track though for actual position now, with Kian Hunter falling away from Gorsh Crab. Obviously the tyres now coming into effect. I guess the thing about Project 994 is that Camando is going to be going at decent pace, and the only way he's actually going to gain a position is probably if Kian Hunter loses the tyres and has a problem. He has done 14 laps on them now, unless, as I said, unless I've drastically missed something, but I don't see how that could have happened. But perhaps Gorse Crab crashed, but that still wouldn't explain as to why he was behind Kian Hunter. Unfortunately, I wasn't really checking up until then what was going on around this kind of position. But having said that, Kian Hunter is gaining, which you really wouldn't have thought was possible on 15 lap old tyres. And what are we doing for time? The Tier 1 lobby needs to be set up now. And that will be coming afterwards. Unfortunately not live streaming that because I actually race in that. Even though I just run around at the back over the last few races. But yeah, Kian Hunter is gaining on Gorse Crabs. So there is still a possibility for Kian Hunter to get 5th here, which would be a good debut race for him. Would be a strong result for a debut, considering the collision at the start and not qualifying as well. I'm not sure why he missed qualifying, but he did miss it, which was obviously going to be to his disadvantage. 3 laps to go. It's didn't mean to do that. But let's check the front again, see what's going on. Lexbox 1 still in 3rd. Yeah, Maestro looks like he's got this one, to be fair. And let's just quickly check something. And yeah, what's his name again? F1 Maestro about to start his final lap, and he's got a pretty big gap now. He can enjoy this final lap if he's not sweating buckets. So let's go back on board with Kian Hunter, because this is the battle. This is the only bit on track that is happening. What can Kian Hunter do? Oh, he's disconnected. He must have disconnected. Although, to be fair, he seemed to slow down. So I don't know what happened there. But he just seems to slow down and go. So he has lost that. I'm not sure, but he might be able to regain that position as it was on the last lap. If it was a disconnection, he might be able to regain that 6th place, because actually Project 994 is actually not going to complete as many laps as him. So we might let Kian Hunter have that place back. But yeah, that does ruin the possible battle at the end. So we'll now go on board as F1 Maestro is about to win the 2nd round of the F1 League Tier 2 Season 1 round Canada. It's going to be his first F1 League official win, his first F1 League anything win. And Project 994 is retired. Why has he done that? He's literally 3 corners from home and he's retired. He's lost 6 points. And Maestro seems to have had a penalty, because Camundo crossed the line. It said that he was P1. Whether that's a glitch or not, I don't know. But I think Maestro might have had a penalty there. I have to record the race director for multiple oh my goodness me, what's it? Zinka has managed to catch up and pass Lexbox 1 out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was going on there, but Zinka has managed to take P3. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, it was a glitch because it says that Lexbox 1's won. That is crazy. Zinka, I didn't even know he was anywhere near him. Zinka has managed to take P3, a really good podium for him. He's going to be happy with that with no practice. And Gorse Crab is in 5th. Absolute carnage. I really don't know why Project 994 retired. He was so close to the finish. And there we have the podium. And yeah, it was Maestro who took the win. That was just a glitch. But oh my goodness me, how many penalties. So many penalties. And yeah, that is the final result. We will see what happens with Kian Hunter, whether he gets reinstated, because he was so close to the finish. But yeah, that was an okay race. And that is the final result we have there. Lexbox 1 actually had 27 seconds worth of penalties. We're going to have to quickly go through these incidents, because I just need to record this. Oh, we got 27 seconds. We'll just go through this to quickly check it. But that is our final result. I'm going to have to hurry up. 19. 18. Come on, hurry up. We are going to make it. Good. But yeah, there we go. Final result. Congratulations to F1 Maestro on the win. And I'll leave you with the final... No, I won't leave you with the final results because I've messed up. There we go. Those are the final results. Thank you ever so much for whether it be on Twitch or YouTube, which I hope to upload this onto. For watching, and goodbye.